There have lately been reports coming out of the Vikings training camp that J.J. McCarthy is probably not going to be the starter. There's a less than 10% chance of him beating out Sam Darnold, which means that Sam Darnold's going to be the guy, at least for the first part of the season for the Vikings. And I'm thinking that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Now, bear with me. This wouldn't be the first time that we saw a quarterback who was declared a bust go to a different team and kind of revamp their career. We saw Baker Mayfield do it. We saw Geno Smith do it. I think Sam Darnold's going to be the next guy to do it. So now let's break down Sam Darnold's career, go piece by piece, see why he never got a fair chance and he hasn't had success in the past, and why I believe, specifically now, he will find success with the Minnesota Vikings.
Sam Darnold with time, looking deep downfield into the end zone. Touchdown Jets, Robbie Anderson.
So Sam Darnold started his journey at USC under Steve Sarkisian, who clearly knows what he's doing, as we've seen him completely revamp the Texas football program and bring them to the college football playoffs under Quinn Ewers just last year. He was also throwing to elite receivers Juju Smith-Schuster and Michael Pittman, who are successful receivers on the NFL level. So they're clearly very good for college football. He's clearly used to good environments. And we've seen players like Darnold's the type of guy who, what made him such an appealing prospect was his arm talent, was his ability to throw the ball. And if you look at other quarterbacks like that, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, a big factor of how they developed was where they went. And while Sam Darnold went to the New York Jets, Sam Darnold's coaching staff with the Jets was Todd Bowles, and his OC wasn't any better. His OC was Jeremy Bates. So obviously his first couple of seasons weren't good. And then they brought in the guy to try to fix it. They brought in, obviously, the man, the myth, the legend, Adam Gase, who was created by Peyton Manning. Adam Gase is a perfect fit for the Jets. The first thing you think about when you think about the Jets is oy vey. The first thing that comes to your head when you think about Adam Gase is oy vey. Then after 3 lackluster years there, the Jets finally traded Sam Darnold. And under Sam Darnold, the Jets' record was 13-25. Before him, it was 5-11. After him, it was 4-13. The issue clearly wasn't Sam Darnold. The issue was something else with the Jets. Then they went to the Panthers, which also wasn't a great situation. Their head coach was Matt Rhule, who's a shaky defensive coach, didn't stick around, is having issues in college football now. And their offensive coordinator was Joe Brady, who's clearly underqualified. And already in the first year with Sam Darnold and Joe Brady, Darnold was benched and Brady was let go of. And then the next year, Sam Darnold played sparingly. They brought in Baker Mayfield to replace him. And eventually, after year 2, he was cut. So Sam Darnold with the Panthers, his record as a starter was 8-9. The Panthers' record before him was 5-11. Well, having him on the bench was 4-13. The issue clearly wasn't Sam Darnold. The issue was something else. And then he goes to the 49ers. 49ers were the first competent organization that Sam Darnold played for since USC. Great head coach in Kyle Shanahan, really quarterback whisperer, and great weapons around him. And Kyle Shanahan, in the preseason process, praised Sam Darnold like nothing else. Here's the exact quote. "I don't like to compare anyone to Steve because how good he was. Steve obviously being Steve Young. But why can't Sam be like that? He's got that type of ability. He is that type of person. And I'm just pumped we could get him here. Sam Darnold can clearly throw the football. The issue is his ability to read the field. And he's going to have to be in the right system to have success. But he clearly has the tools to make those passes. And while he didn't beat out Brock Purdy, who ended up being the quarterback with the highest passer rating in the NFL, so you can't blame him for not beating out Brock Purdy. Well, he did beat out Brock Purdy. The opportunities that he did get, he looked really good with the 49ers. In the preseason, he completed 22 out of 33 passes for 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, and only 1 interception, tallying up a passer rating of 100.8. And then in Week 18, he did get 1 start against the Rams, and it was Sam Darnold and the 49ers twos going against the Rams once, and Sam Darnold almost won that game. He completed 16 out of 26 passes for 189 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 19 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown, and didn't throw a pick. His final passer in that game was 96.5. So we saw Sam Darnold finally get an opportunity, well, somewhat of an opportunity, in a good system for him, and he looked pretty solid, showing little flashes of the quarterback that we thought he was going to be out of USC had he gotten competent coaching, not Todd Bowles and Adam Gase and Matt Rhule. Like, his best receiver on the Jets was Chosen Anderson. What is he supposed to do with this? And then, finally, this past offseason, he signed with the Vikings. And the Vikings are the perfect fit for Sam Darnold for a multitude of reasons. Number one is they have Kevin O'Connell, a quarterback guru. We saw so much of him doing this in the Netflix TV show Quarterback. This guy can really work with a quarterback. As a head coach, he's 20-14, despite having to piece some things together last season with backups such as Nick Mullins and Josh Dobbs. He's still 20-14 as a head coach, and he was the offensive coordinator for the Rams when they had the best offense in the NFL in 2020. Kevin O'Connell knows what he's doing. Then let's look at the Vikings' weapons. These are the best weapons Darnold has ever gotten an opportunity to play with. Has Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones. He's going to be able to spread the ball. He's going to be able to rely on his guys. I don't think, if you look at his film with the Jets or with the Panthers, I don't think he was ever relying on his guys. I think he was trying to be Superman, trying to do it all himself, and he was pulling passes because he couldn't rely on his guys. And then, obviously, you have the famous quote of Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. Well, yeah, he's playing behind the Jets offensive line. I'm surprised he wasn't concussed every game. The Vikings have been arguably top 10. No, I'm not even going to say arguably. I'm just going to call it a top 10 offensive line. This is going to be Sam Darnold's first opportunity to sit in the pocket and read the field. Read the field might not be his strong suit, but it's going to be much easier when he has double the amount of time to do so. And if you look at the Vikings' competition in the NFC, there's not a lot of teams in the NFC that are very convincing. The entire NFC East is all under question marks. The Cowboys didn't have a good offseason. The Eagles were very soft to end last season. And then obviously Giants and Commanders. And then the entire NFC South question marks. And then in the North, you do have the Lions and the Packers who are good. And in the West, you do have the Niners. And then the Rams are pretty solid. Well, a lot of these teams are question marks. I would not be surprised if we see the Vikings look like the Buccaneers this upcoming season. Sam Darnold kind of will his way to wins. I say the Vikings go 9-8, 10-7, sneak in one of the wild card spots, and then who knows, maybe Sam Darnold gets himself a playoff win. And next offseason, he's a free agent. So we might see him re-sign with the Vikings, maybe kind of Trey Lancing, J.J. McCarthy, or we might see him go somewhere else. But Vikings fans, the fact that Sam Darnold is probably going to be your starting quarterback week 1 is definitely not the end of the world.
Sam Darnold with time, looking deep downfield into the end zone. Touchdown Jets, Robbie.